P Ramlee himself never spoke of his troubled marriage to Norizan, who, unwilling to face her family, remained in Singapore after the divorce, before later moving to Kuala Lumpur.
Tapi kita tak boleh begini saja, Ram. Kita mesti lekas kahwin.
Nak kahwin memang senang.
After an 8-year hiatus, Saloma was firmly back on the scene, this time making an impression on the twice-divorced, much idolized and newly available P Ramlee. Nasir, who was 9 years old then, recalls Saloma coming to take him out one day. He did not take a liking to her and told his father so.
Nasir suka nanti tu. I diam lah. Sampai I kena tulis 1000 kali tu. I must love my auntie. I must. I tulis.
Despite his son's resistance to Saloma, P Ramlee was set on marrying her. He confided in close friend Musalma, swearing her to secrecy.
Dia tak pernah ada secret dengan saya. Tapi tentang Saloma, dia nak kahwin dengan Saloma ni, saya boleh terperanjat ni.
But Ramlee was insistent, asking Musalma to help him arrange a marriage ceremony.
Boleh lah. Tapi saya ingat dia main-main. Jangan bilang siapa-siapa tau. Ni secret tau. I nak kahwin dengan Saloma. Dan I tu jangan pun ingat. Mesti dia temberangkan I juga. Pasal dia suka bergurau. Dia bilang betul.
Ramlee and Saloma's marriage took everyone by surprise. In one of his interviews, Ramlee said that he married Saloma not for her voice or beauty, but because they were soulmates. For Saloma, there was a fine line between being his soulmate and living with his eccentricities.
Mula-mula dulu saya pelik. Baru-baru kahwin tak reti lah. Dia ni betul-betul ganjil lah. Saya belum pernah jumpa orang macam dia. Dia kalau nak bikin lagu ni tak kira masa. Kadang-kadang dekat bilik mandi tu kan. Maaf cakap dekat dalam bilik mandi dia duduk berjam-jam. Dia duduk fikir. Sampai saya pun nak takut. Rupanya dia karang lagu lah, buat skrip lah, nanti tangan dia macam itu, macam ini.
Saloma embraced her married life with enthusiasm. As it turned out, she got on famously with Nasir.
Masa diorang gaduh. Ramlee Saloma gaduh. Diorang dua gaduh. Yang kaya I. Siapa diorang gaduh, diorang tak tegur. Ramlee nak minta apa?
Dia guna you lah.
Guna I. Cik, cakap dengan Mama, mana dia punya ni. I diam je. RM1. Habis jumpa Mama. Mama, ada mesej lah Mama. Ambil tak Mama tu. I kaya tau. I love her so much. Betul cakap, I love her so much.
Saloma was involved in many of P Ramlee's successful films, but mostly in supporting roles. Where she had no acting role, they featured her exquisite voice. Singing was her first love, and that suited her husband well. Before long, they became the country's very own screen couple.
Kasim Selamat? Siapa dia Kasim Selamat? Lawyer? Magistrate?
Inspired by his newfound happiness with Saloma, P Ramlee wrote, directed and acted in Ibu Mertuaku, one of his most highly acclaimed films. The film was not only a huge box office success, its theme songs surpassed the popularity of the film itself.
Masa dia bikin rakaman tu, Mak ada kat sana Jadi dengar, Mak boleh nangis dengar lagu tu. Nangis dia bilang. Best lah bang, lagunya menyayat hati. Mak cakap gini. Dia bilang, Shima, dia bilang, ini lagu kau tengok, dia bilang, kalau kita panjang umur, dia bilang gini, walaupun 30-40 tahun akan datang, dia bilang gini, orang masih kenang lagu-lagu ini.
But it was during another of the film's songs, Jeritan Batinku, where Ramlee played the saxophone, that had audiences captivated across the country. Even though Ramlee had mimed the part, he did it so well that to this day many still believe that he was an accomplished saxophonist.
First kali filem dia Ibu Mertuaku, dia main saxophone. Tapi banyak orang bilang dia yang main. Actually bukan, he cannot play saxophone. Yang main dalam Ibu Mertuaku usuk B. Tapi because P Ramlee is a manusia yang luar biasa, sebab dia pegang piano kan, dia pegang violin kan, exactly like him play. Saxophone, the key semua betul.
The film won him an award for a specially created category at the Tokyo 10th Asian Film Festival in 1963, the most versatile talent. It was one of the highest recognitions yet for Malay cinema, and with this win, P Ramlee's accomplishments as a filmmaker at the Shaw Studio were unparalleled. But on his return from the Tokyo Festival, the reception Ramlee got at the airport was in stark contrast to his previous wins. His return this time was met only by 3 studio staff, Saloma and his personal assistant, Ramlee Jr. He had come home to a highly charged situation between the studio and the union. The union's restriction of working hours had delayed the delivery of Ibu Mertuaku, forcing Ramlee to pay for the crew's overtime claims from his own pocket. The meticulous director found it tough to meet Shaw's one picture every 4 months demand, with limited shooting time and lack of scriptwriters.
Kau dari sini.
Satu shot tu kadang sampai 1 malam dia ambil. Dia nak sesuaikan background projector tu dengan orang tu kan, miniature tu semua. Especially when they close up tu, itu pakai lens yang paling bagus punya lens tu. Dia import lens tu kan, dia dia jaga close up tu, dia beli lens tu, dia suruh beli lens tu. Kadang-kadang gambar dia bikin nak masuk festival 6 bulan.
Penalized for the union's actions, Ramlee felt that his efforts and dedication were unappreciated. He began to get disenchanted with the studio. The lack of scriptwriters forced P Ramlee, like most directors, to adapt from other stories. But he gave the audience what they wanted with simple but clever plots.
Ramlee is a very good man for Cedo, Number one fellow, very clever, and nobody can see it. Even Lagu also like that. But nobody will know, what he has done. He's a wonderful chap. Intelligent.
Ramlee created some of his best cinematic magic, and although he was far from content with the studio, the Shaws gladly continued to invest in him and gave him bigger budgets for bigger movies.
Kau boleh tahu siapa punya gambar yang mahal. Satu saya cakap kau tahu. P Ramlee lah. Especially dia best set. Kadang-kadang dia best set murah-murah dia kasih. 2 hari sudah habis boleh bikin satu set. Kadang-kadang tak ada. 8 hari, 10 hari mau bikin dia punya satu set.
Terrible at handling his own money, Ramlee asked Kwek to deal with his finances and trusted him implicitly.
Kadang-kadang saya masuk ke bank. Dia nak apa-apa saya keluar kasih sama dia. Ramlee kau kasih sama saya simpan ni duit kau tak hitung. Apa Mr. Kwek ni cakap macam budak-budak lah. Dia cakap sama kita itu macam dia kata Mr. Kwek kalau mau pakai ambil dia kata. Duit dia banyak lah, termakan tak habis. Itu je dia tak betul punya bini yang tak tahu apa, saya tak mau tanya dia.
According to Kwek, they worked crazy hours to complete Ramlee's films quickly because they were guaranteed hits.
Kalau saya tahu bukan main bagus lagi dia main gambar, duit masuk bukan main banyak, kau tak ada. Habis kalau dia nak apa sikit lebih kau tak boleh kasih. Tak boleh lah. Saya kalau tak kasih sama dia, saya rasa
Continued success with his comedic films culminated in P Ramlee winning his next and last international award for the film entitled Madu Tiga. In 1963, Shaw offered P Ramlee the chance to direct his first color film entitled Senewati in Hong Kong. He was also to direct his 5th sequel of the renowned Bujang Lapok comedic series there. P Ramlee was ecstatic, but the excitement was short-lived. Without telling Ramlee, the powerful union demanded higher payments and allowances for Ramlee and his co-stars, forcing Shaw to cancel the production of both films. Ramlee was bitterly disappointed. It was a time when Singapore was facing heightened left-wing radical trade union activities, and strikes at the Shaw studios were attracting the state's attention.
Bila Perdana Menteri Lee Kuan Yew dapat tahu buat union ni, jadi dia tak suka Melayu-Melayu ni buat union. So dia bilang dengan Shaw Brothers, you better close down. So Shaw Brothers kata dia, you better go to Merdeka Film.
Disillusioned, P Ramlee moved to Merdeka Studio in 1964 after directing his last film, Tiga Abdul. He skipped the film's preview and saw it during its Kuala Lumpur run in the cinemas. Shaw studio manager Kwek Chip Jian had his own theory as to why P Ramlee left the Shaw studio in Singapore.
Kita biar orang tak suruh dia pergi, dia tak pergi sebenarnya. Engkau tahu itu yang panggil sama dia siapa? Itu Tauke panggil dia sana. KTP punya orang tu. Nama dia Ho Alok. Dia cakap sama P Ramlee, apa kau nak? What do you think of that? Apa kau nak?
Merdeka Studio was owned by Ho Ah Look and businessman H.M. Shah and managed by the Shaw family. P Ramlee's absence was greatly felt at the Shaw Studios in Singapore. To his friends, P Ramlee was like a bright star that shone on them. He helped to launch the careers of many. His departure left a deep void in their lives.
Saya ni seolah-olah macam anak ayam kehilangan ibu. Paksa saya struggle sendirilah. Kalau tidak ada P Ramlee, tak adalah Kasim Masdo.
Kalau dia sitting, saya cukup hormat dia director.
He is a very good actor. Very good actor. Dia kalau ada dekat sini, semua happy lah. Dia nanti cakap macam-macam, dia menyanyi macam gila. Ya, semua. Shooting pun senang lah, dia orang semua suka lah. Bila dia tak ada senyum, senyap saja.
The Shaws, however, did not completely sever their ties with P Ramlee. They later acquired a significant stake in Merdeka Studio.
Dia begini, dekat Kuala Lumpur ni, peralatan studio, barangnya tak cukup. Barangnya barang lama. Barang yang tak habis, yang Singapura dah tak boleh pakai, baru dibawa Kuala Lumpur. Macam kamera, lighting, apa. Kedua, orang belum mahir. Macam di Singapura, orang dah mahir. Semua dah 10 tahun kerja. Kat sini semua orang baru.
P Ramlee had thrived under the system at Shaw Studio. Backed by a highly experienced production team, he could concentrate wholly on the creative aspects of his work. But the state of things at Merdeka Studio was very different. Tucked away beside a zoo with outdated equipment and inexperienced production staff, Ramlee joked with friends that he was working in a zoo and was about to be eaten alive by a tiger. Ironically, Sitora Harimau Jadian, or Sitora the Were-Tiger, became the title of his first movie at Merdeka Studio. He tried dabbling in special effects, but with a small budget and poor support services, he had to multitask, even doing his own editing. The film came out technically inferior. At the film's preview in Singapore, attended by actors Ahmad Daud and Sadia, the Shaw brothers walked out after only 15 minutes.